Last week, I published a video about exploring different underused mythologies as inspiration for your stories, mostly because it gets a bit tiring sometimes how much the genre overly relies on the same handful set of myths. Greek gods, Norse sagas, and Arthurian legends dominate the genre, and while they grate and overuse for a reason, they've been done a lot. But the world is bursting with underused and underappreciated mythologies, filled with gods, creatures, and epic stories just waiting to inspire your next setting. Last video, we discussed Slavic, Yoruba, Polynesian, Mayan, and Hindu folklore, and you can find the link to it in the description if you're interested. This time, we are exploring 5 new ones.
A lot of you asked in the comments, so now we're doing a sequel video discussing 5 other underrepresented myths. Some of these myths in this new batch were suggested by you. Some came from me. The point here is to discuss them from the point of view of their most relevant characters, deities, creatures, and myths, and what kind of themes they focus on. And hopefully this is gonna inspire you to include some of these elements in your own storytelling. Exploring lesser-known mythologies is a way to bring fresh perspectives, fresh characters and settings to the genre. So once again, why not uncover some magic that hasn't been explored 1,000 times before? So let's get to it.
Let's take a moment to think about this. Why do certain mythologies dominate the fantasy genre? Greek, Norse, and Arthurian myth have been woven into the fabric of Western storytelling for centuries. These stories shaped much of Western literature, art, and even modern media. Think about it. The gods of Mount Olympus have been inspiring everything from Renaissance paintings to superhero movies. Their themes of heroism, betrayal, and hubris are universally relatable, and they've been endlessly repackaged in ways that feel familiar and accessible. It also obviously helps that these stories are foundational to civilizations that later would have huge influence in Western cultural dissemination. But here's the catch. Familiarity is both a strength and a limitation. These mythologies are so well known that they risk becoming cliches. How many times can we see Zeus hurl a thunderbolt or a Viking wield a magical hammer before it starts to feel predictable? Overused mythologies can create a sense of been there, done that, leaving little room for surprise or innovation.
Exploring lesser-known mythologies, on the other hand, opens up a treasure trove of untapped inspiration. Not only do these stories feel fresh, but they also introduce audiences to new cultural perspectives, themes, and settings. It's a chance to expand the fantasy genre beyond its traditional boundaries and bring in voices and ideas that don't often get the spotlight. Plus, as a creator, you kind of get to challenge yourself. If you add a myth a few people know about this, you can let yourself shape these aspects in ways that feel both respectful and uniquely your own. With that in mind, let's dive into 5 mythologies that are brimming with rich storytelling potential, ones that deserve a bit more love in the fantasy genre. Also, briefly before we start with them, just a quick reminder that we have a free Discord server for the channel. It's called Loregeist Tavern, and it's just a server for fantasy and world building discussion. The link is on the channel page. Feel free to join if that sounds good to you. Now let's get to the myths.
Now, I want to go over this new batch of underused mythologies that could maybe inspire you for your current world-building efforts. Of course, there are many more. Feel free to mention them in the comments, but the overall idea here is just to provide some initial inspiration. Also, once again, I'll probably going to butcher some of the pronunciation here, so let me know in the comments the right way to say it if you feel like it. Chinese mythology is rich with divine figures who govern nature, humanity, and the cosmos. Think of Noah, the creator goddess who is said to have shaped humanity from clay and repaired the heavens with 5 colored stones after a great calamity. Then there's Hou Yi, the legendary archer who saved the world by shooting down 9 scorching suns, leaving only one to light the earth. Another iconic figure is the Jade Emperor, the supreme ruler of heaven, often depicted as a wise but distant overseer of gods and mortals. These deities and heroes showcase themes of creation, sacrifice, and the responsibilities of power, making them fascinating anchors for storytelling. The mythical creatures of Chinese folklore are diverse and captivating. The dragon, an enduring symbol of power, wisdom, and good fortune, is often associated with emperors and celestial forces. The Qilin, a unicorn-like creature, represents peace and prosperity, appearing only during the reign of just rulers. Then, there's the nine-tailed fox, or Hulijing, a shape-shifting spirit with both benevolent and malevolent forms, often tied to themes of seduction, trickery, and wisdom. The cyclical nature of life and the balance between yin and yang underpin many stories, emphasizing harmony and duality. Tales like How Yi and the Sons often explore humanity's relationship with nature, while legends about the Jade Emperor and other celestial rulers delve into the complexities of leadership and governance. Myths involving tricksters like the Monkey King from Journey to the West explore themes of rebellion, redemption, and the quest for enlightenment. These stories often blend the cosmic with the personal, creating layers of meaning for readers to uncover.
Chinese mythology is a vast tapestry of gods, heroes, and magical creatures that offer limitless inspiration for storytelling. We have myths about the creation of humanity. We have creatures' appearances symbolizing the times of peace. There's a little bit of everything. These myths delve into universal themes of balance, leadership, and transformation. For writers and world builders, they provide a bridge between the cosmic and the human. It's also a very rich cultural perspective to add to your story.
Again, as you guys may know, I am Brazilian. In the last video about this, I talked about the Yoruba myths. This time, we're going more native for the region with the Brazilian indigenous mythology of Tupi-Guarani. Tupã, the thunder god, and his wife Jaci, the moon goddess, are at the heart of Tupi-Guarani mythology. Together, they crafted humanity, the stars, and the very balance of life itself. Tupã embodies the raw power of creation, while Jaci, as the protector of lovers and the night, brings a gentler, nurturing energy. Guaraci, the sun god, who represents vitality and harmony. Their dynamic creates a world that's both powerful and serene, a reflection of nature's duality. Then there's Iara, the enchanting river guardian. A beautiful yet deadly figure, she is both a protector of rivers and a warning about the perils of human desire. Anangai, the spirit of misfortune and guardian of animals. Anyanga is a haunting figure that represents the consequences of disrupting nature's balance. Tupi-Guarani mythology is packed with unforgettable creatures, each tied deeply to the natural world. There's the Curupira, for instance, a mischievous forest spirit with backward feet, who protects animals by confusing hunters and leading them astray. Then there's the Boitata, a fiery serpent or dragon-like being that punishes those who harm the forests. It's a symbol of nature's fierce resilience. And for sheer terror, we have Mapinguari, a one-eyed, humanoid beast often described as a giant sloth. It roams the Amazon as both a protector of its secrets and a reminder of the untamed mysteries of the natural world.
So if I had to summarize the central theme of Tupi-Guarani mythology to one thing, it would be its deep-rooted connection to the environment and nature, which is sort of a big theme these days if you think about environmental collapse and ridiculous people burning down the Amazon, for example. These myths, they teach lessons about living in harmony with the world around us, and I think we really need to learn them. The main idea here is to explore the magical nature and humans' roles within it.
Inuit, or Arctic indigenous mythology, is rich with deities who embody the harsh and beautiful Arctic world. Sedna, the sea goddess, is one of the most iconic figures. Her tragic story, in which her father Anguta throws her into the sea, explains the origins of marine life and highlights themes of sacrifice and creation. Anguta, often portrayed as both a cruel and necessary force, guides souls to the afterlife, underscoring the Inuit view of life and death as a cyclical journey. Then there's Nanook, the god of polar bears, a figure of wisdom and respect, especially revered by hunters seeking harmony with nature. The creatures of Inuit folklore reflect the dangers and mysteries of the Arctic. The Kalupalik is a haunting figure, a mermaid-like being with an eerie hum that lures children to the icy waters, serving as both a supernatural entity and a cautionary tale for safety near the unpredictable sea. Meanwhile, the Amarok, a giant wolf spirit, roams the wilderness, hunting those who stray too far from the safety of their communities. Both creatures symbolize the ever-present perils of isolation and the unforgiving environment. Inuit mythology is a study of survival and respect for the natural world. Stories often emphasize the delicate balance between life and death in a frozen landscape where resources are scarce and every decision carries weight. Mesopotamian mythology is home to some of the most fascinating and ancient figures in human storytelling. Inanna, also known as Ishtar, is the multifaceted goddess of love, war, and fertility. Her descent into the underworld, where she confronts death and rebirth, is one of the oldest recorded myths and a rich exploration of power and transformation. There's also Enki, the god of water and wisdom, often depicted as a clever, problem-solving deity who uses his intellect to bring order to chaos. And of course, Gilgamesh, the legendary hero king whose epic journey explores friendship, mortality, and what it means to leave a legacy. Mesopotamian myths are filled with awe-inspiring and otherworldly creatures. The Lamassu, with their winged, lion-bodied forms and human faces, were seen as protectors of temples and cities, embodying strength and divine guardianship. Meanwhile, the Anzu bird, a monstrous creature who stole the Tablet of Destinies, a powerful symbol of divine authority, represents the struggle between order and chaos. Mesopotamian mythology deals with some of humanity's most enduring questions. The pursuit of immortality, as seen in the Epic of Gilgamesh, highlights the fear of death and the search for meaning in life. These stories also explore humanity's relationship with the divine, reflecting on how mortals seek guidance, protection, and favor from higher powers.
So Mesopotamian mythology is another big one. There's a lot to explore here in terms of ancient wisdom and storytelling. You have the epic journey of Gilgamesh, which is a great source for your stories. A lot of these myths, they delve into timeless themes of mortality, the legacy that a hero leaves behind, and how to balance the chaotic nature of reality with order. In terms of inspiration, Mesopotamian legends, they provide so many possibilities.
Celtic mythology is rich with gods and heroes who also embody the deep connection between humanity and the natural world. Cernunnos, the horned god, stands as a powerful symbol of fertility and the wilderness, bridging the realms of life and death with his antlered form. Rhiannon, the goddess of sovereignty and horses, is a figure whose stories intertwine themes of loyalty, loss, and the mysterious otherworld. And then there's Lu, a god of many talents, craftsmanship, oaths, and kingship, representing the value of skill, ingenuity, and the strength of leadership. Celtic folklore is brimming with enchanting and haunting creatures. Selkies, seal-like beings who shed their skins to become human, often weave tragic tales of love and longing, exploring the tension between freedom and captivity. The Banshee, on the other hand, is a wailing spirit whose cries foretell death, reminding us of the inevitability of endings and the ties between the living and the dead. The stories explore humanity's relationship with nature, the balance between life and death, and the importance of honor, oaths, and storytelling. These myths also delve into the idea of interconnectedness, where actions reverberate across realms and generations.
Celtic mythology is a tapestry of rich symbolism, powerful deities, and great legends. Funny enough, these stories also explore humanity's connection with nature, how fragile life can be, and the importance of staying true to your ideals. The aesthetics of Celtic folklore are also very interesting and very specific. They feel very enchanting and haunting. Just make sure you're really capturing its essence though. If done poorly, it can really come off as just generic European myths. So it's always good to properly do it justice with proper research.
And there you have it, 5 incredible mythologies bursting with unique deities, creatures, and themes that can breathe fresh life into your settings. You can explore cosmic balance with the Chinese legends to the environmental reverence of Tupi-Guarani and Celtic myths, and the cause of survival in harsh environments with Inuit, as well as the fear and meaning of death with the Mesopotamians. These traditions remind us of the boundless creativity humanity has poured into understanding the world. It could be a creative exercise to draw from these underexplored myths, but as we discussed last time, remember to be mindful of the cultural nuances.
Yeah, so that's it for the video today. Obviously, we could spend hours talking about each of these examples, There are so many other mythologies to talk about. At this point, we covered 10, but the world is big. But as I mentioned, the idea here is just to serve as initial inspiration for you. And you could go deeper into research to cover aspects that a short 15 minutes video wouldn't be able to do. Yeah, so talk about in the comments some other mythologies there I may have missed, or some other examples you think also deserve the spotlight. Thanks for watching. If you want to discuss fantasy and discuss aspects of writing and word building with other like-minded people, join our free Discord server, and see you next time.
Come join our Tavern discussion of fantasy storytelling and world building here at Loregeist. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching, and may your tales be ever epic.